No. I agree. I definitely agree because my Instagram, yeah, this way have Facebook is doom alert. Everybody said that and it's the end of the world and.
Can't take it.
Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go, and we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record, the People's Podcast this evening. We have a great guest, someone who I haven't heard speak before I do an interview. So I've always seen her clothes and her fashion, but I've never seen the person behind the brand. So we want to get introduced to the person behind the brand. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Aneesa.
Walaikum.
My sister Mimi says assalamu alaikum, family. Boom, alaikum salam. Okay, my first question for you, ma'am, is when did you first fall in love with fashion?
When did I first fall in love with fashion? If you ask my grandmother, she said that, because she's used to be a seamstress, and she said that when I was 2 years old, I was in her sewing room watching her sew and stuff, and she would just sit me down in my playpen in there. Okay. And I asked her for a needle, and I asked her for some fabric. Okay. And I started like fake sewing at around 2 years old. Mm. But when I specifically remember falling in love with fashion would definitely be, I was probably 4 or 5. I used to come to the mosque strutting, strutting, making sure that my pocketbook matched my shoes and everything was just together and put together. Mm. So
okay, excellent. My sister Naima says assalamu alaikum. Jamari X says Hartford checking in. Okay, my next question is, how do you stand out in the world of fashion?
I believe I stand out in the world of fashion because I don't necessarily, like, you have Islamic fashion that is specific to Islamic women. I don't like to put a stamp on this is modest fashion. I make clothes that just so happen to only be modest. So anybody can wear it. You feel comfortable. A Cardi B would feel comfortable in my stuff.
Okay.
Like, so you look at it and it's like, it's just cute. It's just good clothes. But whoever you are, it doesn't matter who you are, you can wear it and you can feel super like bomb in it.
Okay, that's great. Sister Marquita, I'm going to butcher your last name, Betty's, I'm assuming, says she loves your clothing. Her teens want so many of your pieces. Thank you for making modesty beautiful to the youth. Also, if someone wants to buy your clothes, where can they reach out to you at?
Reach out to me via Instagram. That's where you can reach out to me, and then you'll find my email in there. But the email is just, people can't hardly figure out how to spell my name. So it's like, I don't even give the email unless I just give it to them in the link and they can send it there. So just reach out to me through Instagram and then I'll send you to actually order. I'll send you my email. Okay,
wonderful. Speaking of your name being hard to say, what is your real name and what is the name of your fashion company and how did that come about?
So my actual name is Aneesa. My fashion line's name is very simple. It's my name backwards with a dot in the middle. People butcher it all the time and they say Ashe, Anna, Asina, Ace, Anna. It's just Ace. And that's my logo is a spade. So I'm very like, I love the Matrix. I love the color black. I love all of that like mysterious vibey stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna be the Ace of Spades. So they gotta call me Ace.
Okay.
So it's Ace, and it came about literally because I didn't want a name that sounded too, not to sound ignorant. I didn't want it to sound like too African-y, Muslim-y. I didn't want it to be my clothing line to be just geared towards one demographic. I wanted you to look at it and not think, oh, that's not for me. So I didn't want it to be in any kind of language or anything. It's just going to be my name, but my name is Arabic. So I'm like, let's keep me in there in the lineage of legacy, but I'm going to just switch it up. And that's literally it.
Okay, beautiful. And there's also somebody who posted your email in the comments.
Thank you very much.
My next question is, who inspires you in fashion?
Like celebrity-wise or like in general-wise?
Both. Both.
Celebrity wise, that's a. I think I don't have an answer for celebrity wise, only because my fashion came about because I was lacking. Like what I wanted was lacking in what I was looking for. So I came about with my own. Everything is just totally my own. Okay. So if I can say somebody that I like what they wear,
okay.
Well, maybe like Rihanna. I love Rihanna's clothes when she's being modest.
Yeah, Rihanna's a fashion icon for sure.
Clothes, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Beyonce, not so much. I feel like Beyonce just started learning how to dress, to be honest.
Okay, just gonna take my wife out like that on there.
just started learning how to dress. Okay. But I'll say Rihanna. In general wise.
Rihanna?
I don't even know in general wise. I think just looking at, you know what? I'm gonna take everything I just said back. What really inspired me the most is literally The Matrix. Okay. That whole vibe, I literally love to see it. Like just long jackets, and it's like oversized, but it fits perfectly. That is my vibe. So I kind of, when I first started my collection, everything was kind of geared around that, with having just like straight lines. I like the idea of straight lines. So I would say The Matrix is what Neo and Trinity.
Okay. Neo, Trinity. The Matrix is one of my favorite movies of all time, so I understand. Yes, Sister Judea, I see you. Sister Judea wants to be clear that she's the one who put your thing in the your email in the.
I love Judea.
Comment. Oh, Judea. See, I knew it was gonna mention your name anyway. Yep. Okay, my next question is, how do you shop or search for models to wear your clothes?
I'm a one-man band. I am my model. If you go on my page, you'll just see literally pictures of me modeling my stuff, because I live in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. So I don't have access to other humans. So it's literally just me. I would love to have models because I really don't want to do it, but this is what it is.
Okay. My next question is, will you ever make, since you said you're inspired by Neo, would you ever make fashion for men?
Yes, I'm actually working on that. It's the only way around it. I'm working with a manufacturer to help me with that, though, because what I don't want to do, and the brothers roast me, when you gonna start making stuff for us? It's been 6 years. You were saying that you're gonna make stuff for us. My issue with that is I'm not measuring no man.
Okay.
Because what's gonna happen is I don't want somebody to be like, oh, I want a suit, and they ask all these questions, and if we get down to the measuring aspect, and then I don't get no order after that because you really just wanted me to measure you because you're being a creep. So I don't want no parts of that right now.
Okay, that makes sense. And I'm sure you can find a male seamstress or seam person to help you out if that's the case.
A male seamstress is called a tailor, by the
way. Tailor. I'm sure you can find a tailor to do that. Thank you, Marcel. I think he's gonna show love. Ronald, I do like The Matrix. If you watch my podcast, you will hear me talk about The Matrix plenty of times. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. Not so much the sequels. Okay.
The sequels are trash.
I'm not a fan of the sequels at all. My next question is, how did your parents feel about you pursuing fashion?
Oh, they were all for it. My mother is like, I just thank Allah so much for her. My father, they're extremely supportive parents. Like I could not have asked for better. When I told my mother that I wanted to do fashion, I was just coming up out of spending all of their money in college. And I went to college, graduated and with a medical assisting degree. And I never stepped foot inside of a hospital, period. Like, I'm never working here. Like, I hate that. And I just wasted thousands of your dollars. So sorry. And I told my mom, like, I think I want to start sewing. And she was like, all right, bet. The table that I have now in this chair I'm sitting in, she bought this chair. She bought my sewing table. She bought my sewing machine. She bought the iron. She bought everything. Like, she was like, okay, let's go. And she did it. And now I have to put my money where my mouth is, because my mom just spent all this money for me to follow my dreams. And yeah, so I did it. And now we're here.
Praise be to Allah. Excellent. My next question is, what is your advice to aspiring people who want to work in fashion, male or female?
My advice is work in fashion. You have to have a level of, and I say this to people, just content creators, period, just any type of creative person, you have to have a level of positive manipulation, because you're telling people that what you have is what they need. And I have to push it so much. It put it like this, like Kanye did with Yeezy. And when he first dropped it, it was like, we're never wearing that. We hate to see it. It's literally New York bum style. But guess what? It's like $1 billion company now. Because, because you push something long enough, people will believe it as true. If you just strutting it with confidence, like, this is what you should wear, people are going to wear it. And if it's actually good, then they're really going to want to wear it. And they're really going to want to be a part of what you're doing. So you have to find a way to stay in people's heads at all times. Because at first it's going to be like, oh, she's continued to be on my page. She's so annoying. And then it's like, oh, she's on my page. And then they start going to your page because they actually are interested in you now.
Okay, excellent. My sister Naima says, all praise to Allah for supportive parents. Brother Marcellus says, fashion is so essential to society. Well-needed profession. Absolutely. And thank you all for continuing to watch the People's Podcast with Sister Aneesa. My next question is, when did you first hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan?
In the womb. In the womb. I was born for this. So.
And what made you accept it? Because everybody who's born in it doesn't necessarily accept it.
I accept it. That is a fact. I accepted it. I told a story before, and I would have to remember the story that I told because it's been so long. I accepted it for okay. I recited when I was 16, but I didn't accept it at 16. What most of us do, we recite at 16 because it's what we've been taught. At 16, you recite.
Yes, ma'am.
But I didn't accept it. I've always loved the teachings. Like, there was just no way around it. I have a warrior spirit, and I have a gallon of fire in my belly at all times. So
okay.
So it's like, I was born for this. But as far as understanding, like, this teaching was given to you personally, even though you was born into it, you have to actually accept it and make it practical for yourself as an individual, and not look for mom and dad to take you to the mosque and mom and dad to spoon feed you the lectures and stuff like that. Was probably around 2021 is when I was like, there's nowhere. When I was able to make the decision for myself if I wanted to get up to go to the mosque or not, was when I had to make a decision. Do I want to get up and go to the mosque or not? Because nobody's going to kick me out of bed. Like, nobody's going to be doing what they used to do. They're just going to leave me here in this bed. And they did for a couple of times. And I was like, wait.
Okay.
I want to be there with you guys.
Okay.
I would say about that.
Excellent. Do you feel support from within the nation with your business?
Oh, yeah.
Praise be to Allah.
Oh, yeah. I would be nothing without the MGT.
Okay, excellent. Do you feel support outside of the nation from with your business?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of my orders are within the nation, like damn near 100% of my orders. But the love that I get from outside is like, I couldn't ask for better. Like, it's beautiful. So.
Praise be to Allah. My next question is, do you have any interaction with meeting Mother Farrakhan or with Mother Farrakhan?
Yes, and she told me my hands were cold. And I was like, I failed this. She came to New Jersey for an MGT class, and we were able to talk with her and everything. And she was like rubbing my hands. And I still have the picture to this day. And she was rubbing my hands, and she was like, your hands are so cold. I was like, stupid. So, yeah.
Has
she
influenced you in any way as far as fashion or things like that?
Oh, absolutely. The fact that, and this is, I think that we do not give Mother Khadija the credit that she deserves for New Wales fashion. There is nothing more gangster than the fact that you will get reported for making a white garment that's not registered. There's nothing more gangster than that. Like, what she makes is what's gonna be it, period. Like, y'all can't make, y'all can do all the other, that's cute, but y'all not making these colors though. My wife designed them all, and if you don't wear it, Sister Captain Naima will be getting a call.
Yeah.
So it's like, she doesn't get enough credit for what she did for the nation and sewing inside of her home and then turning it into a factory business that runs well.
Absolutely. Okay. My next question is, when did you start to see the Most High Min Farrakhan as someone more than a leader and activist, as in a divine light?
I don't know if I ever saw him as an activist. Definitely like a leader, like a teacher. I think I started seeing him as Jesus.
Yeah.
When he said it.
Okay.
So the thing is, like, when you were born for this nation, like when you're a nation baby, these teachings are gold.
Absolutely.
And it's all you know. So it's like when the minister said, I am the Jesus that I've been hiding in plain sight, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Say less, sir. Say no.
I'll walk by. Okay, beautiful. Quick commercial break. I want to say that this podcast is brought to you by my brother Rashad Muhammad and his video production team. Street Premiere, if you need any video editing, and he has a drone, they shooting movies, they got some great video stuff. Reach out to him on social media. Also, my sister Miriam and her book, children's book, ABC I Love Me, the coloring book, as well as the regular book. Also, my second book, which is a coloring book, Cleopatra, is on Amazon. Make sure you all get it. And last but not least, my father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, Abdul Sharif Muhammad. Thank you all for your support. I want to thank Brother Jabari, who sponsored an episode, Supreme Men's Fashion, and Sister Lovett from Phoenix just sponsors a podcast last episode. So I want to thank you all for your support. If you want to sponsor an episode, J Imagination on Cash App, and like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. Boom. I'm right back with you, sister.
We love to see
it. Have you ever had to face fear in your time in the Nation of Islam? And if so, how did you overcome that fear?
Face fear in the nation?
Yes, or in the world, whenever you had to face fear.
Face fear. I gotta really think for this because my spirit is on always Harriet Tubman.
Okay.
So it's like I really have to think when I had to face like genuine fear of something. I know that there is something because everybody has been faced with fear one way or another. This is the thing. This is why I can't find, I'm trying really hard to find like an actual moment because my father has always taught us. My father is a freaking warrior. If anybody knows Michael E. Muhammad, he just wants to fight. So it's like he raised us that fear it's a myth. He was like, it's literally an illusion. It's not actually real.
Yeah.
I remember my first what is that word? What is the word? When you're confronted with something. My first experience with fear was I needed to jump in the pool. Okay. And we have a diving board and he was like, dive. And I was like, I'm scared. He was like, what are you scared of? He said, the water's not going to stop you. It's going to you're going to go straight through the water. And the way the water is, you're going to just come back up. You're not going to stop at the bottom. Once you go in there, you're just going to come back up. So that in my mind, it was always just like, when I'm faced with fear, I'm immediately going to dismantle it.
Okay, praise be to Allah.
So it's like, I'm trying to figure out a time where I was faced with fear and I didn't, like, I actually felt the fear though, because he just never taught us to feel that fear, which is probably toxic in some way.
Yeah. Okay, what has been your greatest joy since you've been in the nation?
My greatest joy. Okay, so I met the minister. This was maybe like, I really should know the exact like time and day, but it was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and we drilled for him. He came out to Newark, New Jersey, and we drilled for him. Okay. And he wanted to meet with us. And I was just like, number one, we waited. Excuse me. He didn't know that he was meeting with us. We waited in the hotel lobby for like 5 hours because we were like, we're meeting the minister, period. We talked to D9 and Josh and stuff like that. We were like, we're in here waiting. Like, we need to go see him now, please. So we like, when we were literally on our way, just about to leave, like, we just gonna take this L. He came down. I think D9 came down and was like, come on up. We were able, you know how, have you ever been up to the minister's hotel? You have the side door that like the guests come through. And then you have like a grand entrance type of thing that he comes through. Mm-hmm. And he allowed us to come through that entrance, which was like, and he was sitting at the table. It was so beautiful because I'm a 3rd generation Muslim, right? Yeah. So my uncle was in the room, my father was in the room, and my cousin was in the room. Yeah. And I was like, I'm feeling feelings. I'm going to start crying now. So I'm like trying to be a G and was like, I'm like, oh God, things are happening. And he held my hand, gave me a big, big hug. He held my hand and he was like, asked me what my name was. I almost forgot what it was. And I was like, And then he said, how old are you? And for a second, I forgot my age. Okay. I think I was 21 at the time. I was 21. And I was like, I was about to say 19 or something like that. And I was like, 21. And he said words. I cannot tell you what they were. I have literally no idea what this Black man said. Yeah. I know that in my soul, I was just like, things are happening. Yeah. And I love all the things that are happening. But it's something about like, you know, when you go meet the minister, the last thing you want to do, because you just feel like he could read your energy and read your mind. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, I don't want to think bad thoughts. I don't want to have any bad thoughts. Like, I don't want to think of anything ignorant. I realized that when I left his presence, that my thoughts started coming back. Because in that moment, I actually wasn't thinking any thoughts outside of this man. Like my mind was just like, this is good Jesus. So yeah, like he just took any negative, anything inside of my being away. And that was the most peaceful I probably have ever been.
Yes, ma'am. Could you say your parents' names? Because you said Brother Michael E. Muhammad. What is your mother's name?
Deanna.
Deanna Muhammad. Okay, mm-hmm. From Newark.
Plainfield, New Jersey.
Plainfield, New Jersey. Okay, yes, ma'am. I want to, because people who don't know, they want to know me. You know.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. My next question is, what do you do for fun?
I don't know. I just had this conversation with my sister the other day, and it's like, I actually don't know. I turned my hobby into my career, so now I don't have any hobbies. Yeah. So what I do for fun is eat.
Okay. Okay.
And that's no cap. Like, I'm a little girl, but I have a belly of a beast. Okay. So I love to eat.
Okay. And what type of foods do you like to eat?
Chipotle.
Chipotle. Okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am. My next question is, the brand of your business. Mm-hmm. Ace. Enna.
Ace Enna.
Ace Enna. I don't know if I say that. Ace Enna. What do you want that brand to represent for people who this is their first time hearing about it or seeing it? What does it represent, and what do you want the lasting impression to be moving forward in the future?
My motto for Ace Anna is past, present, future, because whenever I'm designing something, I always make sure that if I wanted to see Diana Ross in it, she could wear it then. If I wanted to see the future person in it, because Matrix is very much futuristic, so a lot of my inspiration is built off of that. So it's like, can I see this in the future? And if I could see it then and then I could definitely see it like now though. So okay. It's like I want these pieces to be timeless. So vintage won't just be like, it's like, oh, this is vintage, but it's booty. It's like, no, it's vintage and you can wear it though.
Okay, excellent. And do you have a pricing or anything for people who may be watching or do you want them to go to your website or something? Like, how does that work?
You said what?
You have pricing on it, like what, like for people who
those, because everything is custom.
Okay.
So typically for the most part, it's based off of your size and your height.
Okay.
So the pricing varies like kind of like up and down-ish. So yeah. So they'll just have to email me and then we'll work on like pricing and stuff like that. But it's not cheap because I'm making this stuff myself. So I'm just gonna put that out there.
Okay, excellent. And do you have any new I'm not into fashion, though Kanye West is one of my great inspirations. What do you have a new line or do you have anything dropping new that people can look forward to coming up?
Yes, I have a fashion show. If we're not in the apocalypse anymore, okay. I have a fashion show July 26th in Newark, New Jersey. And the stuff that's going to be on the runway it's flawless. It's flawless. And it's MGT with everything with MGT in mind. So you're not going to look at it. I think the day is over that we have to like look at fashion and think about how we can piece it together to make it modest. Like we should be able to wear stuff for work, wear stuff for weddings, wear stuff to proms, wear stuff for any occasion, and be able to just put it on, not like, oh, let me wear this turtleneck up to my face like in here, or like we just shouldn't have to do that anymore. So the line is going to be a whole new line of sports in the show. It's going to be a new line of casual wear, a new line of business wear, and formal, and then wedding gowns. So it's going to be a whole new line that you can get anything from.
Okay, excellent. One last thing, because that is the case, and people who may not live in Newark, will you be showing it on your Instagram? Like how people will be able to see the fashion show?
It's gonna be live streamed.
Live stream on your Instagram. Okay, cool. So we want to make sure that your Instagram is. Can you please tell everybody your Instagram?
ASE.ENA. Ace Anna.
All right. I want to thank our guest, Aneesa, for coming on, taking time out of her busy schedule, doing as what she called the apocalypse. We want to make sure that we thank her family. It's nothing but love. Sister Malika's sister, holding it down. Brother Ronald, he's in Phoenix. He promotes events. He said he would love to get with the sister and bounce around some ideas for the adult prom. He throws the prom events as far as fashion. If people want to reach out to you, how should they reach out to you? Instagram.
Email. So reach out to me through, Jade put the email in there, but if you can't find that, just reach out to me through my Instagram and then I will reach back out.
Okay, excellent. Reach out to the Instagram, email, Brother Ronald. My sister Naima says that's a beautiful motto. Excellent. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Aneesa, I learned a lot about you because I've never heard you speak before until today. Thank you. I want to make sure that we support that. We want to promote independent fashion, great fashion. All the creatives got to stick together. So if you all want to see your wife, your daughters, your mothers into some new fashion, let's support Sister Aneesa and her fashion. All right, thank you for coming on, man. All right,
oh wait, by the way, this is my first interview ever.
Okay, praise be to the Lord. Okay, great.
So this is like, I'm honored.
Okay, excellent. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube and send you the link, and I'll DM you the YouTube link.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
And please get a greeting to your family as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm like,
Walaikum salam.